Look around your local gun shop lately, and you will see it is an absolute madhouse out there right now. The second that delivery truck bumps the loading dock, premium hardware is getting stripped right off the walls. If you are standing at the counter trying to make up your mind, you are going to go home with empty hands. We are looking at a market where everything from cutting-edge tactical platforms to traditional lever-action brush guns is in massive demand for 2025. Whether you are locking down your perimeter for home defense, looking to fill your chest freezer this hunting season, or you just appreciate the mechanical perfection of modern firearms, these 6 specific rifle systems are the ones currently running the yard. Let us go hot on the firing line and break down exactly why these platforms need to be in your armory before the shelves run dry again. First up on the firing line is the undisputed king of the rimfire world, the Ruger 1022. Talk to any seasoned range safety officer or lifelong shooter, and they will confirm this platform has digested more lead than almost anything else in existence. I have kept one of these on standby in my vault for well over a decade. It serves as my primary training tool whenever I am walking a brand new shooter through the fundamentals of marksmanship. And frankly, it still puts a massive smile on my face every time I press the trigger myself. If you consider yourself a serious firearms enthusiast, and there is not a 1022 in your collection, we need to have a serious talk. The brilliance of this design is its aftermarket modularity. Think of it as the AR-15 of the rimfire universe. You can strip away the factory polymer or wood, drop in a precision-matched trigger group, mount up a dedicated suppressor, or even swap out a bull barrel right on your workbench with basic hand tools. My dedicated training rig has been modified so heavily over the years that the only original Ruger part left is the receiver. But even if you leave it completely stock, straight from the factory floor, this little carbine is an absolute workhorse. It shoulders beautifully, the weight distribution is perfect, and that proprietary rotary magazine is an absolute masterclass in engineering. It sits completely flush with the stock, feeds flawlessly, and completely eliminates the feeding malfunctions you normally see with cheap single-stack rimfire magazines. Whether I am running transition drills on steel targets at 50 paces, walking a junior shooter through their first sight picture, or just spending a Saturday afternoon burning through a 500-round brick of 22 long rifle ammunition, this rifle just keeps chewing through brass. Ruger knows their audience perfectly, manufacturing a configuration for every specific mission profile. From the ultra-compact takedown, models that slide perfectly into a bug-out bag, to heavy barrel precision variants built for shooting tiny groups on paper. Given the current volatility in the ammunition market, the sheer cost savings of shooting .22 long rifle makes this an absolute mandatory training tool. There is zero mystery as to why it remains the top-selling semi-automatic rimfire in the country. Moving into the tactical space, we have to talk about the Sig Sauer MCX. The very first time I got my hands on this weapon system, it became immediately obvious that the traditional AR-15 finally had a genuine rival. We are not just looking at another standard black rifle. This is top-tier 21st century combat engineering designed entirely around practical field modularity. The heart and soul of this upgrade lies in the operating system itself. SIG completely eliminated the standard buffer tube assembly. Instead, the MCX relies on a highly efficient short-stroke gas piston system, which allows you to run a fully folding stock that collapses tight against the receiver. For operators who are permanently running suppressors, or professionals constantly maneuvering in and out of patrol vehicles, that compact footprint provides a massive tactical edge. Furthermore, because it utilizes a piston-driven action, the internal components stay drastically cooler and cleaner compared to a traditional direct impingement setup. I have punished this exact platform during intensive, high round count carbine courses. While other shooters were pulling off the line to lube their dry, malfunctioning bolt carrier groups, the MCX just stayed wet and kept cycling without a single hiccup. The control layout is a left-handed shooter's dream, featuring fully ambidextrous controls right out of the box. Your magazine release, bolt catch, and safety selector are easily manipulated from either side, making weak side shoulder transitions incredibly smooth. The charging handle provides positive engagement. The bolt cycles like it is gliding on glass, and the factory trigger provides a remarkably crisp break that honestly rivals expensive aftermarket drop-ins. But the absolute most impressive feature is the rapid caliber conversion capability. With just a couple of tools, you can swap the barrel and bolt face to transition from 5.56 NATO straight over to 300 blackout. You can even step up to a heavy-hitting 7.6 2x39, all while maintaining the exact same serialized lower receiver. It essentially gives you an entire tactical armory zipped up inside a single rifle case. Now, let us be real. The price point on this system is going to make your wallet sweat. But you are investing in a duty-grade, battle-proven platform that is engineered to survive the worst conditions imaginable. It is insanely durable, utterly reliable, and in my professional opinion, the MCX is a mandatory asset for the modern prepared citizen. Next, let us shift gears to some heavy metal with the Marlin 1895. I will shoot straight with you guys. When the industry news broke that Ruger was acquiring the Marlin manufacturing rights, I had some serious reservations. The 1895 is a staple of American firearms heritage, and I was genuinely worried that a bunch of corporate executives were going to cut corners and strip away the soul of this iconic lever action. I am very happy to admit that I was completely wrong. Ruger did not just rescue the Marlin brand, they fundamentally elevated the entire production process. The machining tolerances, the fit, and the overall finish on these new Ruger-manufactured Marlins are light years ahead of anything produced over the last 2 decades. When you cycle that lever, it locks up with a bank vault solidity. There is zero slop, just pure, precise mechanical engagement. If you look at the SBL configuration, sporting that gorgeous stainless steel construction, paired with the gray laminate furniture, it is an absolute masterpiece. But do not let the museum-quality aesthetics fool you for a second. This is a rugged, blue-collar working rifle. Chambered in the devastating 4570 government cartridge, this platform delivers catastrophic energy on target. I have carried this exact model deep into thick brush country, chasing wild hogs and black bear. When you press that trigger and send a massive hard-cast lead projectile downrange, the kinetic energy transfer is absolutely undeniable. Yes, the recoil impulse is significant, but it translates into a slow, rolling push against your shoulder that reminds you exactly why big-bore lever guns have ruled the woods for over a century. Ruger brilliantly modernized the platform by adding a factory-threaded barrel, allowing you to easily mount a muzzle brake or a big-bore suppressor. They also integrated an extended top rail, making it incredibly simple to throw on a modern red dot optic or a low-power variable scope. Yet, beneath all those modern tactical upgrades, it retains the absolute spirit of a classic frontier rifle. It is relentlessly reliable. It points lightning fast in dense timber, and it is proudly manufactured right here in the United States. As we push through 2025, the 1895 firmly holds the crown in the modern lever-action revival. Now, let us talk about stretching out the distance on a budget with the Ruger American Rifle. If you rewind the clock about 10 years, trying to find a capable bolt-action rifle for under $600 usually meant compromising heavily on quality. Then I finally spent some serious range time behind the Ruger American, and my entire philosophy on budget-friendly precision completely shifted. This is a purpose-built tool designed for the hardcore hunter whose primary objective is putting wild game in the freezer, not for the guy who wants to show off fancy walnut grain at the hunting lodge. The absolute crown jewel of this system is the Ruger Marksman Adjustable Trigger Group. It provides a remarkably clean, glass-like break, which is an absolute necessity when you are trying to execute an ethical shot on a white-tailed deer across a windy draw. They also engineered a 70-degree bolt throw into the action. This provides excellent clearance around your optic's ocular bell, ensuring you are not busting your knuckles in half when trying to run the bolt fast for a follow-up shot. Ruger even does you a massive favor by installing a one-piece Picatinny optics rail right at the factory, completely eliminating the frustrating hunt for proprietary scope bases. The barrel is cold hammer forged for exceptional longevity, and they utilize their patent-pending power bedding block system to rigidly lock the action inside the stock. The real-world result of all this engineering is a level of mechanical accuracy that will genuinely embarrass custom rifles costing triple the price. I have tested this platform with everything from the cheapest bulk hunting ammunition to premium hand-loaded match-grade cartridges, and it consistently punches tight, overlapping holes on paper all day long. You can pick this up in a massive variety of chamberings, scaling all the way from the flat-shooting .223 Remington up through the incredibly popular 6.5 Creedmoor, and of course, the legendary .308 Winchester. It is incredibly lightweight for long humps through the backcountry. The rugged composite stock shrugs off freezing rain, thick mud, and heavy abuse. I have personally dragged my rifle through some absolutely brutal environments, smashing it through dense thickets, and it has never once lost its zero. If your mission dictates a highly accurate, extremely durable bolt gun that leaves enough cash in your pocket to actually buy ammunition, the Ruger American is your golden ticket. Stepping into the realm of ultra-compact defensive tools, we have the Kel-Tec Sub2000 Generation 3. Now, Kel-Tec has always occupied that mad scientist corner of the firearms industry. Sometimes their wild concepts fall flat, but other times they strike absolute gold. The Generation 3 of this carbine is an undisputed home run. I will admit, I used to write these off as gimmicky range toys. That was until I actually integrated one into my daily vehicle setup, and the sheer utility of the design finally clicked. The primary selling point here is the folding mechanism. This pistol-caliber carbine literally hinges in half right at the chamber face, allowing it to be discreetly stowed inside a standard commuter backpack, a small duffel bag, or tucked behind a truck seat. The massive leap forward with the Generation 3 is how they finally solved the optics mounting issue with their new rotating forend. Previously, you had to run weird offset mounts to fold the gun. Now, you can hard mount a red dot sight and a tactical weapon light directly to the rail. When it is time to pack it up, the entire handguard rotates out of the way, letting the gun fold completely flat without ever losing your optics zero or requiring you to detach any hardware. That single upgrade is an absolute game changer for rapid deployment scenarios. It utilizes a straightforward direct blowback operating system, available in either 9mm or 40 Smith & Wesson. But the greatest tactical advantage is its magazine ecosystem. You can configure the grip to accept standard Glock magazines, meaning your everyday carry sidearm and your backup carbine are now feeding from the exact same logistical source. I keep a dedicated pack loaded up with 33-round extended stick magazines, providing a massive amount of sustained firepower in a tiny package. It weighs practically nothing, the manual of arms is simple to master, and it delivers highly capable accuracy out to the 100-yard line. I have set mine up with a silencer for a dedicated home defense role. It makes for an incredibly quiet, highly maneuverable, and devastatingly effective close-quarters tool. Are you going to be ringing steel at 1,000 yards with this? Absolutely not. But as a dedicated truck gun, a discreet travel companion, or the primary long gun in your get-home bag, it offers unparalleled capability. For less than $600, you are securing a highly reliable, deeply concealable pistol-caliber carbine that fills a very specific tactical void perfectly. Finally, we need to address the precision rifle market with the Tikka T3x. For years, I listened to long-range competitors and backcountry guides singing the praises of Tikka rifles. They constantly raved about the buttery bolt operation and the phenomenal barrel quality. I eventually decided to add a T3x Lite to my personal inventory, and now I am exactly like them, preaching the gospel of finish engineering. This rifle represents absolute manufacturing perfection. The very first time you run the action, it is going to blow your mind. It feels perfectly slick, almost as if the entire bolt body is gliding on lubricated ball bearings. It relies on a simple two-lug bolt design, yet it cycles infinitely smoother than heavily modified multi-thousand-dollar custom actions I have manipulated. From a physical standpoint, the rifle is incredibly lean, tipping the scales right around the 6-pound mark. If you have ever had to haul a rifle up a steep ridge at 0-500 hours, you understand exactly why that weight reduction is an absolute blessing. Even with that featherweight profile, the felt recoil remains extremely manageable, heavily mitigated by a beautifully contoured stock and a highly effective factory recoil pad. But the real reason professional shooters invest in a Tikka boils down to one word: accuracy. Straight out of the cardboard box, feeding it standard over-the-counter hunting ammunition, this rifle shoots like a laser beam. During my initial break-in period, I was effortlessly grouping shots well under a single MOA within the first 20 rounds down the tube. Tikka utilizes cold hammer-forged Sako barrels. They legally guarantee that every single rifle will shoot sub-MOA before it is ever allowed to ship from their facility. And trust me, they absolutely stand behind that promise. My specific evaluation rifle is chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor, but they manufacture this platform in virtually every modern caliber you could possibly require, alongside heavy-duty stainless steel variants designed specifically for brutal, moisture-heavy environments. The industry nickname for this platform is the working man's Sako, and I cannot think of a more accurate description. You are acquiring elite, custom shop-level ballistic performance for a standard production-level price tag. If it comes down to a single critical shot this hunting season, and I need a precision instrument I can bet my life on, my hand is reaching for the Tikka T3x every single time. All right, guys, that wraps up our sit rep on the firing line. Those are the 6 definitive platforms that are absolutely dominating the landscape in 2025. Whether you are heavily invested in rimfire fundamentals, traditional frontier lever actions, high-speed tactical folding systems, or sub-MOA precision bolt guns, these are the specific defensive and sporting tools that genuinely deserve prime real estate inside your gun safe. If you are planning to expand your personal armory this calendar year, you need to stop hesitating. Make a decision and go pull the trigger on one of these systems before the local supply chain dries up entirely. I appreciate you guys spending some time with me today. Do me a massive favor and physically smash that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you do not miss any of our upcoming tactical deep dives. And hit the comment section down below right now to let me know exactly which one of these weapon systems you plan on bringing home this week. Until next time, stay incredibly safe out there, keep training hard, keep your powder dry, and I will see you on the range.